should be a captain in there somewhere.
Hi guys, welcome back to Motion Filmy.
Oh, awesome. That's a bad signal. That's your... Oh, sorry. That's your signal. That means we have to go now.
In today's video, we shall be looking at most expensive movies ever made. Spoiler alert, Avatar does not top the list, so let's get started. Number 10. John Carter, 2012. John Carter was finally released in March of 2012 after years of lingering in development. Disney was keen on delivering another live-action epic that could rival the success of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Unfortunately, John Carter's ballooning budget of $264 million was unable to draw in audiences, which sadly ended the presumed franchise before it had the chance to take off. Number 9. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, 2019. Its budget ended up at $275 million. Unfortunately, The Rise of Skywalker was a major blunder that squashed the inventiveness of The Last Jedi and the promise of The Force Awakens. While the film still managed to cross the box office $1 billion mark, it's notably the last theatrical Star Wars film that we've seen in theaters. Number 8. Solo: A Star Wars Story, 2018. Also coming in at $275 million budget, Solo: A Star Wars Story suffered a major director swap, except this time it came after shooting was nearly completed. Unfortunately, it's only collect $394 million and become the first Star Wars film to be a box office bomb. Number 7. Justice League, 2017. Production issues tend to dominate the most expensive films ever, and the story behind the $300 million Justice League is far more interesting than either version of the film. After Zack Snyder left the production, Joss Whedon effectively reshot the film in order to rebound from the critical failure of Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Justice League failed to become a critical and financial success on the level of the Avengers. $300 million wasn't enough to make Henry Cavill's digitally erased mustache convincing. Number 6. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, 2007. The third film in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise is certainly a film where every inch of the $300 million budget can be seen on screen, between an elaborate escape from a watery afterlife to one of the most ridiculous ship battles in film history. Number 5. Avengers Infinity War, 2018. Infinity War somehow did the impossible and brought together a decade of storytelling into a coherent narrative that balanced all of the heroes. The hefty $325 million price tag for uniting these heroes paid off, and Infinity War became the first Marvel film to pass the $2 billion box office threshold. Number 4. Avatar: The Way of Water, 2022. The Way of Water is another film where you can see the results of the massive price tag of $350 million on screen. The stunning underwater photography and epic action sequences somehow managed to top the visual achievements of its predecessor. Number 3. Avengers Endgame, 2019. The $356 million final film in the Infinity Saga brought back dozens of heroes for a 3-hour-long epic that featured time-hopping cameos and one of the biggest battle scenes in cinema history. Beyond its critical acclaim, Avengers Endgame provoked emotional responses from viewers that had lived with these heroes for over a decade. Endgame managed to briefly become the highest-grossing film of all time before Avatar topped it upon its re-release. Number 2. Avengers Age of Ultron, 2015. Surprisingly, the most expensive film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe thus far was 2015's Avengers Age of Ultron at $365 million. Although it received generally favorable reviews and still became one of the highest-grossing films of all time, Age of Ultron failed to top the earning and fan enthusiasm of its predecessor. Number 1. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Following the massive success of the original trilogy, Disney quickly planned a fourth film in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and a $378 million one at that, offering more of Johnny Depp's iconic role as Captain Jack Sparrow. While the general consensus was that Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides was an overindulgent mess that stretched the narrative, it didn't fail on a financial level and became yet another film in the series to cross the $1 billion box office mark. Which movie did you watch from the list today? Tell us in the comments section. Thank you for watching.